السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Sodobo, Cafimat Fican. Aniga Saleh. Adiga Saliha. Alhamdulillah.
صالح على إبحي صالح إلا صالح أنا قلك مقعي وياسمين هذا لو بسوتها سودبو. You're ready now, you're back to yourself.
Alhamdulillah.
فيديو هذا دمينا أو هاي المها دراجسي وحاس عنان I hope إنا متقانا فرصتين إن شاء الله. براد صالح وقشوعي حوغا. You good now?
Alhamdulillah.
Yeah?
Yep.
قشوع وجراي وحاوى بني آدم عليها مقتهي. If you have a heart, we will cry. هذه ونجل أنا على ذا وحاوى حوغا قشوعي سا. فيديو وحن كهالينا المها كتاga diinta islaamka sidaba meel alle meeshay rabaan ay joogaan qurba ama qurba la'aanba. Today we're focusing this video children, adults also who live the deen. And mom and dad, great grandparents, everybody is worried. The community is whispering and talking. The kid who took on, left the deen,
Right.
There is a group of Somalis who are leaving the deen and joining with one another and talking so badly about Islam. Group حاجوك Somali ودين المسلم أنت كتجين إسكارشدين إسأرسدين وحيلها الله يعني المها كليته دين المسلم وحنا كحن إليهم. Let's separate Saleh, Islam and culture.
Yeah.
Culture كإدين تأنكلا بحنا مانت.
That's necessary.
Yes.
That's been necessary for me from when I started to learn about the Deen of Islam until now. A big part for me was always learning what is really Islam and what is culture, because everybody who has had Islam as a predominant part of their culture, Somalia and even West Africa and India, Pakistan, and the Arab states and things like that. They all have their own identity with Islam.
Yes.
And their culture totally is immersed in it. So there's really, for a lot of people, there's no difference between it.
Culture
It
and the
is what
deen.
it is.
Yeah.
I mean, their culture and Islam is like locked together.
Yeah.
So they don't really even realize that they're saying things that are part of their culture that are not necessarily a part of Islam.
I used to, and you at the beginning you used to say,
Yeah.
is this Islam or this is Somali
Right.
culture? And I had to say, oh.
Because we, alhamdulillah, even the things that are culture in these Muslim lands very often reflect something from Islam, but it might not be a part of Islam that's for everybody. You know what I mean? So anyway, it's a real task, really, to sort these things out and say what really is Islam and what is the culture. And if this is the first time you've ever heard that and you're going like, I've never even thought that there is such a thing. There is such a thing, and you should really look into it for yourself, because it makes a big difference between kind of sorting things out as it goes. But how this affects
The
children is that they're living in a different culture.
Yeah.
They're living in a different culture, and so when you're bringing to them everything from the land that you've migrated from, and you're trying to tell them that that's the way they have to be because that's what you know, they're going to ask a lot of questions that you're not going to be able to answer.
Right.
Because they're not coming from that. They're not coming from what you're trying to tell them is the culture and Islam, or Islam and culture. And so what is really necessary is so that they get Islam. And the essence of Islam, the very, very essence of Islam is the oneness of Allah. If a child makes it through life with the oneness of Allah, then they've got more than many other folks will have. And that is the key piece of all of what we do as Muslims. All of our acts of worship are because of Allah. Now the other piece is the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And the Rasul is a very unique human being in the world. Okay? And alhamdulillah wa shukrulillah, the essence of his situation was that two things that at least that come to mind right now in reflection of this. Number one is that he's rahmat al-alameen. He's the mercy to the worlds, right? And the second piece about the Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is that he was sent to perfect character, good character, adab. Adab is spiritual courtesy. He was sent to perfect spiritual courtesy. And that's what we have to embody. We have to embody a people who respect adab. And adab is it goes between all of us. It goes between ourselves and other animals even, and the birds and rocks and everything. There's an adab for everything. So there's an adab for a parent to its child. And we have to respect those boundaries. And we have to be merciful to one another. This is a big lesson for all Muslims everywhere. Parents to children, but especially men to men, women to women.
Sisterhood.
SubhanAllah. Rahmatul Alameen. Be a mercy to each other. Be a mercy to each other. Don't backbite each other. Allah says not to do that. There's and all the things that we do as human beings that are the lower part of our nature. Allah has given us prescriptions of how not to do that or why not to do that. And the Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam enacted all of those lessons by his actions. And alhamdulillah, so we've got the best guidance in these things. But be a mercy to each other, be kind to each other. And
also du'a. I think what we are missing is when our children say, I'm 18 now.
Yeah.
I'm leaving. Because Somali the joke that the Somalis who are in Somalia can mu'oga, they don't know. When the child reaches 18, so we have to do du'a. We must do du'a. Du'a goes long ways than yelling. I have learned that.
Yeah, the whole idea of 18, most children, right? And there's a lot of stories of children who are leaving well before 18, honey. They're making these decisions in their mind. And they're in America at least, they have a situation where they can use the law to hold their parents back from a lot of different things. You can't yell at you, you can't hit you, you can't do this, you can't do that. And the parents are often in a situation where they don't know as much as the child knows about these things.
And that's why
the child is manipulating the situation.
Because the schools, the thing is, when you put your child to school, 8 to 3, 6-7 hours, you don't know your child. Who's teaching? What they are doing? The teacher is telling them, when you go home, you are the boss of the house. When mom tells you, don't talk like that, you have a freedom to talk like that, they tell them. Free, because when the children grow into that, you can't touch me, you can't hit me. The children can be difficult.
There's a lot of education around individualism, about being an individual, and even having pride in yourself and things like that. And it's not to say that these things are necessarily a terrible lesson to learn, but there's a best way to learn them with balance. And because in Islam there's no pride. It's about
but
confidence.
You know what? Us, my Somali community, we have pride. Do you know how we have pride? When one of our children, God forbid, does something wrong, do you know I'm well known in the community? I don't want so-and-so to know you are alcoholic or you don't come to the masjid. Get out of here. We push and we push. That's what we do. So instead of doing that, gentle, how can we keep our children not to run away from the deen? Make the deen easy. Allah didn't make everything so hard. We make it hard. It's however we make it. Ilmi and ud'inu. Ilmi and garab istagan. We must stand by them. There are some children who were born kind of feisty. You cannot break their nature and the way Allah made them, but we must guide them with kindness. And like Saleh said, we must teach our children that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, everything you do, do it for Allah. And remember, you can teach your children whatever you want, but when they go out there, you don't know what's out there.
So on the other hand, for me, because I came to Islam, you know, I was raised Catholic and you know, kind of went through a lot of different, trying to understand other forms of Christianity, studied like Taoism and things like that. So I looked at a lot of different religious backgrounds before I had learned about Islam. And so I found that journey that I went through was an important development for my spiritual connectedness to Allah. And I encourage my children to understand some of the beliefs and the belief systems of other folks. So you know, we've had books in our house and that talk about all different religions and things like that to give them an understanding. So that means that for some parents, they themselves have to learn those things. Now your children, if they're going to school, are going to learn about this stuff. So if you don't know about those things, sit down with them, let them teach you about it too. Go through this with them a little bit, you know,
and don't push them, because when they come and tell us things, Saleh, our children, alhamdulillah, they're homeschooled. We have a homeschooling group, but certain things, when they go karate, when they go library, they meet other children. They have community that they sit with the boys, you know, sit with. They exchange things. So they will hear, they go, so-and-so said this today and that and that. Alhamdulillah, that's when you come in. Because some of the things I don't know, and I always say, ask daddy. And some children don't have a dad, they are single moms. So the single moms, the uncles, the community, we must support the single parent also. And listen and say, what did so-and-so say? Oh, okay, what do you think of that? We cannot push, because our community, we push, we hide them. The children, why? He's crazy, lock him in the door. Alcoholic, why? Lock him. Diinta Islaamka ku tiri aabihiis sheekh weyn waa moogta oo la kasaa. His dad is a big sheikh with the mustache and the big beard and the tusbah all day long. His kid is bad, lock him. That's the way we are, Somalis. And it's not that I'm putting Somalis down, it's the reality of that. Ilmaha riixina.
Stories that you hear and things like that.
We're constantly getting these emails. Ilmaha ha riixina. Ilmaha banaanka loo soo bixiyo, ilmaha hala dhageysto, war maxaa jiro. Cunugaas wuxuu dhaha diintayda kaa fiican saasiisaas. Dhageyso, hooyo anaga saanaa nahay, aabba anaga saanaa nahay. Tartiib, I think dua will go long ways.
That's what I was just going to say too, is that it comes down to a point. Like if it's not even about you fighting with them, but they found their way into a situation where they're contemplating this stuff and they're saying, you know what, I don't think I'm really with this. I'm not part of this. You know, I don't believe the way you believe, Mom and Dad.
Right.
These are hurtful things when you hear it as a parent. But like for me personally, I have to think about this often, because that's exactly what I did to my parents. I said, I'm going to take a different religion. That's not something easy. If I hear that, it's going to be difficult for me to hear that. May Allah protect us.
Ameen, ya Rabbi.
And this is the biggest thing that it comes down to, is we do our best as parents to try to, you know, teach them and guide them and give them everything they need to be good human beings in this world and to be successful with Allah. Sometimes it comes down to their journey. It's Allah's decree that this person who came from you is going to be challenged with whatever kind of guidance or misguidance that is out there.
Right.
And so sometimes it's a matter of just all that you can do is make dua.
Wake up the middle of the night and pray. 2 rak'ah, believe me, will go long ways.
It goes a long ways.
It does go long ways.
And even if it doesn't change the situation for that child, it will help you.
It'll make it easy for us.
Right.
صح. Ilmaha, we'll end the video. Ilmaha udu'inu, we must do dua for them.
Amen.
There are children, Saleh. I have seen moms say to me, well, balaayadu wuu madax adag yahay. The strange thing he's a hard-headed. Because honey, the mom and the dad, they get so frustrated. Ilmihi, sida u madax adag yahay, hooyadii aabihi ku daalin, war hadal waa lagu daaliye. So we must do dua. We must turn to Allah, Ilaahi subhanahu wa ta'ala, and ku jeesano. Cunugaagu balaayo cabaayo, ama naaga xagga wato, ama wax subinay, marka aragto waxaa leedahay, ilbaabka u fur. Don't shut the doors.
No.
stand with your children ilmiina garab istaaga albaabkana fura asoo naag xagga wata asoo sigaar dhuuqa asoo surwaalkiisa fatada u saaran tahay his pants will be hanging in his butt open the door
try to understand those things
open the door
and help I mean by understand it I mean you might have to study some things like
صح
there was a time when I had to learn about the Shia religion
صح
in order to be able to talk with some people about that.
Right.
I didn't know enough about it to begin the conversation, so I had to go and learn. I got some books and I learned about it. So like the whole thing of like the children with their pants hanging down and stuff like that, there's something to learn there. It's a culture. It's a culture to learn about.
Why are your pants down? Ask them. Talk
there's
to
a reason why that is being encouraged that is beyond even the understanding that they usually have. The whole thing with the pants hanging down is actually something.
Have a cigarette in their mouth, walking differently. Why?
Anyway, there's
don't push them. Open the door.
You only get into a losing conflict if you try to just say that's dumb or I don't like it.
We know we don't like it, but we must say, okay, Hoya.
So try to
pull your pants up, Hoya.
I mean, sometimes I use comedy, like jokes about it and stuff too, but sometimes that's also not taken well. So
certain things, والله مركا ديديشو, أما مركا تحبارتنتو ما شقينيسو. But the only way to do it is
the thing about
kindness.
the pants, just because you mentioned that,
it's just one of them.
It's something that was actually promoted by the record industry, and what it actually reflects is a period of it's about the time of slavery, and that the house would give their clothes to the servants, the slaves, and they would have to wear whatever they had, and sometimes they would drag down.
It was too big.
That's part of the story of what goes in there.
Yeah.
So can you imagine the people who would take something like that and then market it
so wrong
to make it seem like it's cool?
Yep.
That's how
they twist their mind.
That's how shaitanic some of these people are.
Right.
And I mean, and they're very successful at this kind of stuff over and over.
May Allah keep shaitan away from our homes, our children, and
I mean, if our children are smart and we explain something like that to them and they didn't know it before, maybe they will turn around and be like, dude, I'm not going to be, let the industry get one over on me.
Right.
So
Inshallah.
Inshallah.
So the key here, the children live in the deen, is for us to open the doors, never shut, don't push, and don't hide them, and don't feel embarrassed. Open the doors, invite them.
I gotta say, Yasmin, like Islamically, like some people might go to the Sharia element of this, and because there is a Sharia element where in Muslim countries or places where Islam was firmly established. There were practices of if somebody would leave the deen, even people would be killed for that. And there were practices of even if somebody would leave the deen, they would be exiled, sent away. And so there is a basis for some of these things, but we have to know that we're not in that time. We don't have that context going on in these places.
Right.
So if your child is doing something like this, don't beat them. Or
don't curse them,
or any of that kind of stuff, because
we're going to ship you to Somalia. A lot of children, you know what they say to me? Ilma badan waxay dhahan markasta waxaan lagu qayliya aan Allah. Somalia ku celinaya. War Somalia xumaan ma aha. Somalia waaba we will be honored. We'll be lucky to go to Somalia.
That's what I was going to say. That might not be a bad solution for some people though, if they still have that much control.
Remember that video we saw? Some of the Somali kids, they were shipped from Europe to Somalia, and they had their hair done, they had a car, and they said, our parents are sending us money. We love Somalia. We swim every day. We eat this rich food. Somalia نبعاتها. How about
consider in some cases, but that's not going to be a consideration for everybody.
But it's not also something to scare them. Somalia should be an honor and a gift. It should be, we're going to ship you Somalia. Ooh, I'm scared. No. Somalia hadii lagu diray nabada nasiiba leedahay la dhaha ilmaha mashallah. It should be a treat. It's like you finished the juz amma. Bravo, I'm taking to Somalia wa mel aad mashallah. Yeey abooba ku soo tusay. You earned it. Assalamu alaykum wa alayhi wa idha ka tagan hadalkana waa badanay. إلهو إلمها نوبت بادي آمين إلهو أنا كان إسكوس كان ود بادي آمين إلمها أن أدعينه آمين إلمها أن صبرنا آمين إلمها يوثق ذا وريجيس إلهي هنجا قبته وحي حماني حناق جران إلهيو أن عفس إلهو نعفي أنا كان صندق عفينه آمين يا رب جزاك الله خير next videos أركينا إن شاء الله جزاك الله خير براد صالح for all these videos really a lot of us would appreciate it and for me too I appreciate it for talking to the Somali community for sharing of some of yours Ameen and may Allah protect our children too and all the Muslim children too Ameen and may Allah guide the ones who are not Ameen Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh